All right, we're going to get started. I'd like to welcome everyone to a Monroe Town Board workshop on solar for May 20th, 2021. And we do, I think board members all have a copy of the latest draft, which I think was provided by council on April 13th. Is that
yes.
accurate? Yeah. Everybody have a copy of that? And we do have, I think one board member provided feedback to town council on that. So I will turn it over to council member Donahue.
All right, so now I gotta look inside the over. Okay, the thing is too is that the language in 149 standards for tier 3 solar energy systems.
99.
Yeah, 149.99. This language in here, basically, if you look at it, it bans for tier 3 solar energy systems in agriculture. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It bans it on.
You're in subsection A, yes?
Yes, in section A, middle section A, tier 3 solar energy systems shall not be permitted to be constructed on prime farmland of statewide importance, farmland of global importance, or unique soils as defined by U.S. Department of Agriculture, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, or local governing board. If you look at the map of the agricultural district, you'll see that by banning all these on these soils, they're basically banning this type, any type of soil, basically in the agricultural district, because there isn't land left, property left, that is suitable for solar arrays. This was this whole law has been vetted by the zoning board of appeals, by the building, NYSERDA, and they all agree. The majority of members of both the planning board and zoning board want solar allowed on farmland for the percentage. NYSERDA recommends this as well. It's completely restricting it. Could be used solar restricting purposes. And that's my point, is that, you know, this language being in there basically bans it in the agricultural district. That has been noted by NYSERDA. The percentage too, I mentioned, I don't know where that's further down.
Can we take that?
Sure, we can take that.
Because you had like 2 points in your,
Right.
so
I would like that language basically removed. Because it is overly restrictive. It does basically ban solar in the agricultural district. So that's my point.
So if I may add to that conversation, before we even drafted any language for this proposal, I had reached out to the Saratoga County Soil and Water Conservation District, District Manager Dustin Lewis, to make sure that we were all operating from a factual basis with numbers in relation to the Ag District. And the Ag District comprises 8,386 acres. And if you look at, based on maps, not that the town board put together, but that have been long in place for agricultural use. So town's not designating these characterizations for prime soils. You'll actually find that in the number of acres that are classified as prime soils is on 1,947 acres, which is only 23% of the ag district. And if you drill down even further and look at the number of acres that are designated farmland and statewide importance, it's another 323 acres, which is another 8% of the agricultural district. So if you combine those total acreage of the two soils that we're trying to protect, that's 22,270 acres, which is only 27% of the ag district. So I have to respectfully disagree on the characterization that we're essentially banning solar arrays in the entire ag district.
Well, my point is that once you take away the prime farmland and stuff, most of the property left is not suitable for solar. So you can say, you can have all the solar you want, if you want to put in gullies, ditches, and ponds. That's what you got left. So the way this thing is written up, I want to know exactly why this was put in there. Is it to protect the soils? Is that what we're trying to do? Protect the soils on farming soil. Is that the intent of this part of the?
From my perspective,
From whoever wrote this up.
well, we all provided feedback. All board members have been involved.
This was the original that we were given on day one.
Yep,
But
and
the
I,
thing is, if we're going to protect the soil, I'm all for protecting the soil. I'm 100% for protecting the soil in the agricultural district. But I think we overstep our bounds by trying to go over the heads of legislative NYSERDA, agriculture markets. They all have, New York State Agriculture Markets is an agency that protects the soil from any development at all on agricultural land. It has to be followed to a T. It has to be followed to a T. So there's already procedures in place to protect the soil. So by banning stuff out there, I believe we're overstepping the bounds. There's also other things, application, agricultural data statements that have to be filled out. There's mitigation payments that are required on certain projects. So there's plenty of protection for the soils in the agricultural district, and they can be in harmony with solar out in the agricultural district. This language does nothing but ban solar in the agricultural district, and NYSERDA realized that. The planning board realized that, the zoning board realized that. So I don't know why they're doing this in there.
well, from my perspective, you characterize it as protecting soil. And I think, I look at it more broadly. We're protecting an industry. Did you know agriculture is the state's #1 industry?
Sure, I want to see them succeed. I want to
How
see
can
the
you-
farmers,
you don't
I want to
have-
see the farmers in
So
our
if you don't,
town
well,
succeed.
if you're not gonna
This
finish-
is help. This will help. I agree with you. I want to
Right.
see these people succeed. I want to see these farmers stay in
So you take the
business
tools
for
that
another
they
100
put
years.
for-
But by cutting their throat, not letting them take advantage of solar leases on their property, some of these farms are gone. Some of these farms are gone. Then you're going to see houses out there. You're going to see houses out there. You're going to see houses, and you're not going to have that prime soil. Because houses will.
So, that's an interesting characterization. Everybody uses the threat of, we're gonna.
There's no reason to let us say things. You
Are
said
you
you want to
gonna
say
speak?
things.
All right, you know what? This is a waste of my time if you're not gonna let me speak.
Go ahead. Sure.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So, I've heard it characterized that, well, then we'll just develop it. Well, you know what? Our zoning laws already allow for development in the agricultural district right now. You have 5 acres, you got a certain number of footage for frontage, you can build a house. Everybody's welcome to do that. And I encourage people to do that.
People like to stay in farms. They like to have.
That's what I'm trying to do.
By not
People
allowing
want
these
to-
farmers the opportunity to have solar in the property, get these leases, to get this steady flow of income coming in. I've talked to farmers. Their prices are up and down. They cannot plan ahead. They can't plan 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, because they don't know what the prices are going to be. This solar opportunities would give them a steady income. They could plan out a little bit and keep their farms. But right now, they might not be able to keep their farms. And I want to see them succeed in that, like basically banning solar out there, they're gonna have a hard time succeeding. You see them go out, like I say, they're not gonna go out there and build houses all over the place, they can't do it, but eventually, that's what they have to do, is sell the five acres at a time. And do what they had to do to survive. I'm trying to help these people, and by banning solar out there is doing it.
Well, my position is, we can debate this until the cows come home.
Sure.
And at this point, there's been a lot of time invested by the town board, town attorney, planning board, zoning board of appeals. I think now is the time that we get it to a public hearing and let the public weigh in on, because at the end of the day, that's where we're gonna take our direction.
If I could, and that's where I wanted to go, but just to make sure so I appreciate both of your perspectives and your passions. At the end of the day, my position has always been, I want to hear from the public, so this is not the final law, right? That's why it's called draft. We need to get to public hearing so that we can hear from the people that have elected us to represent them. So, in my mind, maybe I'm wrong, but in my mind, we're not finalizing this tonight. We want to get it in some status or framework that we can present it to the public, hear from the public, and then make our decisions. Tonight's not tonight, we're making a final decision. That's the objective, I got to get it in some format.
Appreciate that.
So I believe that's what the objective is tonight.
I would like you folks to give me direction and say, okay, Carla, what we have in front of us, we may not all agree with, but let's use this to go out to the public hearing, and then whatever the public says, you may turn around and you change 3/4 of this, and then you go out for another public hearing. I mean, it'll be an organic process with the public. I know that the public wants to see this. I know that a lot of people want to see this, so I am just hoping at this point that you folks can give me some direction and say, okay, as it's written now, with all the changes that we've put in, go ahead and put it in final draft, for lack of a better word,
Yep.
and send it out. That's my hope tonight.
In the interest of having as much velocity of the process, that's all I hope that we can accomplish tonight. I'm comfortable with it as it's written, unless you have some specific questions that have to be answered tonight. This is my position. Let's get it out and let's get the public in here talking to us so that I can base my final decision on more knowledge from those that elected me to do that. So I've already gone on record with my position, but I'm at the point that I need to form a final position, and I need to hear from the public to do it. So debating it tonight's not really on my agenda, but that's what I'd like to say.
And I didn't have any comment. I had sent no comments since then, since early on. I still agree with it. I guess what I had sent along first time again. And I think mirrored that same thought that Councilmember Tassel has, that the public is ultimately going to be who we need to hear from. So I certainly may have more feel differently or feel the same way after we hear from the public. So that's where I'm at with it.
I'll make it short and sweet. I want to see it in the agricultural district, and let's hear from the public. And then we'll make our decision on where to go from there.
Other than setting the public hearing, which may require a resolution, what more do you need from us?
And there were two issues. There was the public, there was this issue, which I knew was gonna come up. And the other issue is I wanted to verify, because there was some confusion. We do not have the overlay idea incorporated in this. I just wanted to verify that we talked about it, we went back and forth about it. It's not included in this. I know folks were asking about it. I just want to say for this draft, it's not in this. Do you want to keep it out of this?
That's my.
And it can come up in discussion during the public hearings, but it's not in this current draft. I just want to make sure I understand, because that has been asked to me by planning board, zoning board, other folks, so.
That was one of the comments I think that someone wrote right on one of the boards, planning or zoning, about the overlay.
Right.
I saw it in there. So we got it out at the right time.
So it's out for this one, but it's, if it comes up in the public hearing, you deal with it at that point?
Yes.
Okay, those were the two main issues. Everything else was smaller, grammatical things that we had already changed.
I mean, I could keep going on, I'm gonna say the same thing again. I need to get the public in here to talk to us. Many people if possible that I haven't already engaged with, so. But you don't need anything more for us, looking for a resolution?
No,
Are we looking at it?
no,
Just a little workshop.
yeah, no, I just want to make sure you're all, good, you know, at this point, you don't all agree on everything, but you all agree that it should go to the public.
Yes.
So what I will do, so that members of the public can hear this now is, your next board meeting is the 27th. I can, have this draft ready to go for you to set the public hearing at the meeting on the 27th and declare lead agency at that meeting. You know, we'll have to send it to the county to look at it, yeah, and the village and all sorts of lovely folks like that. But because it's a change in your zoning law, it has to go to the county. County only meets third Thursday. The county planning is the third Thursday of every month. So I don't anticipate this to be done by your first night of public hearing, to be honest with you. So I don't want to, you know, it's going to take a couple more months to get this done, especially if you want to hear from the public on this. So I want to kind of set expectations that just because we set the public hearing, you're still going to have at least 1-2 months until the law is effective. So just to, or more, I mean, depending on how, if we have to change it again, we start the process over again, we have to have another public hearing. Not start the whole process over, Kyle's getting a little scared. But if we change the language of this after the public hearing, we start again with a new public hearing, with notices, just so the whole board understands how this works, and the public understands as well.
All the more reason, thank you for all the more reasons to get to public hearing. In my opinion, there's been I'll thank them publicly here. I've did a lot of effort by a lot of people, as mentioned by the supervisors of our boards and in your interaction in the NYSERDA. So I value their feedback. I want to hear from the public, put it all together and move this in forward. Supervisor?
Anything else?
I still don't like that in the rule, get to that compromise. So it's like, yeah, let's keep this thing moving, you know, we want this thing moving for quite some time. Let's move it.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate your time this evening.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Not workshop. Okay.
Still a public hearing, still.